Did you have a good sleep, Phoebe?
Yeah. There you go, Melua.
Good morning. It is day 4 of March vlogs. It is really, really dark, so we've got all the overhead lights on. It's really dark and rainy today, which is fine by me. I like the rain. Have I been messing about with that? I have, haven't I?
You opened it yesterday.
There we go. It's back to normal now. I finished my book last night, just to let you know. The Salt Path by Raina Wynn. It was really good. Stayed up an extra 10 minutes just to finish it. I would recommend this. I'm going to pass it on. Do you want to read it next, Dan, or shall I give it to my mum?
Give it to your mum.
So today's Thursday, and Lilia has got to go into her school for her... I'm just going to move out of the overhead lighting. See if that makes things a bit better. Is that, yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? So Lilia has got to go into her school today for her first COVID test. So they have to have a test before they go back to school, and then they'll be having tests twice a week. But I don't think they're the same as, I think they've simplified the tests. It's just a simple swab of the nose. But anyway, she's got to go and do that this morning. And while she does that, I wanted to get a workout in today, so Phoebe suggested we do PE with Joe, which is why I am wearing my PE with Joe t-shirt. So I'm all ready for when it's time to do our workout. If you're wondering, by the way, why I've got a circle stuck on the wall, it's because I want to get a clock for up there, and I found one on Amazon, and I couldn't work out if it was the right size or not, so I drew the size on a bit of paper to stick up on the wall. And I think you'll agree with me that that's too small. It needs to be bigger for that space, so the search continues. I started today doing a bit of sewing of some bags I found, because we're clearing out all the wardrobes and so on, ready for the plasterer, who's now, by the way, coming on the 25th, not the 22nd, he's delayed it. I found a couple of bags that were kind of finished, but I just had to sew the lining. So I've sewn up the lining, and I used to make these before I learned how to make, how to put in zips and drawstrings and stuff. They're really, really basic. And I used to make them, it's an old suiting fabric, it's wool. And then I used to cut out little motifs from felt and sew them on. So that's a whale. And I've got one here that is a bunny. And the girls have both got them with different animals. And I sent my sister one recently with a pig on it. So I'm going to keep one because I don't actually have one, and one of them's got a stain in the lining. Yeah, the whale one has got a stain in the lining, so I'm going to keep that. And actually, as it's blue and my car is blue, I might keep it in the car for keeping my wires and things in for when I plug. My car is very old, so if I'm listening to music or podcasts on my phone, it all has to be plugged in manually. And this one with the rabbit, I'm going to save as one of the prizes for the dodgy bag mail that I'm running over on Little Drops of Wonderful with my friend Claudia of the Crochet Luna podcast. This will be the 3rd or 4th year we've run the dodgy bag mail, where we encourage people to get sewing and not worry about making mistakes, and in particular making bags. And we call it the dodgy bag mail because I call every bag I make dodgy. That doesn't start till May, and if you're interested in that, it's over on my other channel, News to Follow, over on Little Drops of Wonderful. Right, I need to go and get set up ready to start homeschooling in about 5 minutes, and stop jabbering on.
When we were younger, we used to sit on the grass among the flowers.
Bye, darling. Good luck. Have you got your mask?
Yes, in my hand.
That noise you heard just as Lilia was leaving was this one with the mini hoover.
Thank you.
And she's all ready for Joe Wicks. Right, go and put that back. Let's get started. Lilia's gone for her COVID test, so we've cleared the living room, which is where she does her schoolwork. We're going to get on and we're going to do a bit of Joe Wicks. Haven't done it in ages. Oh, takes me back.
Stay up all night singing songs on the terrace. We didn't mind sitting out in the cold. It was impossible to make us embarrassed. We were free. Do you remember
We just did our push-up tabs. Would you like some water?
I'll get some at the end. How many more exercises? Right. How was it, Lilia?
It was good actually.
Was it okay?
Yeah.
Nice and quick and easy?
Yeah. The lady who helped me was really nice. Like, I saw loads of my friends and we all went in together. I mean, I nearly sneezed while I was doing the nose swab, but...
Just been out to the washing machine. Our washing machine is in this shed here. Oh, who's that talking to me? Oh, she's up there. And I had a question from Kay about these brick outhouses that we have here. So that's our shed there. This is next door's cat. This is all the paraphernalia we've had to move because we're knocking down this wall. Well, the wall is knocked down. Dan's going to fill it with concrete because this is where our new garden corner sofa is going to go. Oh, it's a big fat pigeon having something to eat. Anyway, these are part of the original house, and our house was built in around 1905, 1910, we're not entirely sure. And this would have been we know that this is definitely would have been the toilet, the outside toilet, because there is a concreted up hole underneath where our washing machine is, in there. See how rotten that door is all along the bottom. These are the original doors as well, so I would imagine there's a lot of lead paint in there. And then this one here would have been the coal shed, but now is the boiler shed. That's where our boiler is. It's quite an unusual setup to have it outside, but that's how it was when we moved in. I really love how they look, but I would like them to be a bit more practical. I'd like them to be one room, like a utility room. Who knows, maybe one day. Yeah, so our house was actually, it's in a row of Victorian terraces, and we think, oh, that's not good light, is it? Let's do this. We think it was built a little bit later than the other Victorian houses in the area, 1905 rather than 1900. And we do know that it was the doctor's house. The houses themselves probably would have been built for the workers of the estate. This whole area would have been an estate, and a lot of the houses are named after, and the roads and such like are named after the estate as it would have been at the time. And we also have things like Manor Drive, and you know, it's quite normal, I think, here in the UK to have stuff like that. And these would have been workers involved on the estate. And we know that this house was the doctor's house because we had to pay a special insurance for about £3 or something, wasn't it? I was just confirming with Dan, who's working there, when we bought the house for change of use because it was a doctor's house in Victorian times. So there you go. So I'd like to find out more, but it's really hard to find any information at all about the history of our houses. And it's not that old, and it's not probably that interesting compared to other buildings in the area. So there you go, that's the story of the sheds outside. I'm going to go and hang up this fabric. Thanks to everybody that gave me the tip for washing the fabric that we're going to use for our first experiment in clothes making. I've washed them. I'm going to go and hang them up to dry now. That was a really good tip, thank you very much. And I've been reading everyone's comments throughout the morning whenever I've had a little break from homeschooling, and it's really funny that everybody already knew, well, half of you seem to have already known the days of the month knuckle trick, but and then some of you are like me and just completely amazed that we've got to this stage in our lives and never learned it. Brilliant.
So you're going to set it on fire?
Well, no, what people have very sensibly suggested is that if you take an end, here, you can come and help me. Lilia's going to help me conduct a flame test on the yarn I spoke about a couple of days ago, because many of you pointed out that acrylic yarn will melt. I don't know what wool will do, catch on fire. So we were either going to set Lilia on fire or just melt some yarn. Get the end.
I really don't trust this.
Melting stuff.
They're caught on fire.
Now, thank you, Lilia, for your assistance. I don't know what the conclusion is here. What do we think? Is that melted? It still feels quite soft at the end, obviously apart from the crispy bit. But I can't tell if that's melted or just burnt. I'm none the wiser. Oh no. I think it melted. And what I might do is get a piece of yarn I know is acrylic and see what that does in order to compare it. I am the fire starter. Twisted fire starter. That reminds me, we should do the song of the day in a minute. It's Dan's choice today. Right, this is acrylic yarn. Melty, melty. Okay, so now I know how that looks. Let's go back to our other yarn. I'm going to set off all the smoke alarms. Right, let's have another go with this one. I have to admit, I'm having quite a lot of fun doing this. Now I've got a yellow piece which is 100% wool. Ooh.
I'm just worried what Mia will do.
Okay, that's reacted the same way as everything else. Except it smelt worse. So I still don't know. But it doesn't really matter because I'm going to give it to the charity shop anyway. Once I've figured out what I'm going to do with the hexes, because I'll need it to sew them together.
When we got older, we tried to stay in touch, but we had to move on. Life ran away from us.
So, for my PE lesson in school, there's a 30-day lockdown challenge for every month. It's 4th of March, we're doing 4, and it's hold a wall sit as long as you can. So, I have...
I'm going to win. I'm going to take my flip-flops off.
This stopwatch on my phone, and I'm going to start it, and me and Mum are going to see how long we can hold a wall sit.
Oh, it hurts already. We just did Joe Wicks, so it's really burning. I can't do it.
15 seconds! Mum!
45 seconds.
I like how Mia's just staring at me sleeping.
1 minute 30! The champion!
Do you remember stealing smokes from your parents? Sometimes we got a bit out of control. When they found out we ran from home just to scare them, we were free. When we were 17. When we were 17.
Room today. I feel like every time I pick up the camera I'm in the same place. Phoebe and I are just off to Sainsbury's because we need milk and I have to get out of the house. So we're just going to go and do that. Dan's still working upstairs. When I get back I will get him to tell you what his choice for song of the day is. I quite like it. I hope you do too. And I will add that to the Spotify playlist, which is linked underneath. So if I don't get a chance to say so later, thank you very much for watching this. Thank you for your lovely messages and your lovely comments, and I'm really enjoying reading them and just feeling like we're all getting through March together. It's a strange month. It feels like a real transition month, particularly here in the UK. There's a lot of change happening. Yeah, it feels slightly exciting, slightly unsettling. Right, you ready to go? That's your third outfit of today. Dan has just finished work for the day. He's going to go, you're going to pop out just to get out the house for a bit, aren't you?
And buy beer.
You're going to get some beer. But it's your turn to choose the song of the day, so what are you choosing?
Well, I have recently been listening to a 70s rock playlist on Apple Music. Sorry about that. And song I'm going to choose today is just one that just makes me smile and makes me feel happy, and it's just a really catchy tune, and that's Sweet Home Alabama by Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Thank you for your choice.
You are welcome. Sweet Home Alabama.
Smoke from your